Guys, I went to the farmer's market today and they had pink pineapples, so I figured I'm going to address some comments, answer some questions. For my most recent video, it has almost 11,000 views. So first and foremost, thank you everyone for watching. Whether you loved it or hate it, shout out, you watched it. All the positive comments have been amazing. And hearing some of your guys' stories have been healing, because I think for the longest time I just felt so alone in this experience, and I'm one who just does not believe in original experiences anymore, and that was really the first time I felt so alone. So thank you everyone for sharing your story on that. We're gonna cut open this pink pineapple. I got it from the farmer's market I went to today with some coworkers. That was so fun. This one was only $4. I think the one I originally was getting was $12, but it was about twice the size of this. This is an old dog mat. Not old, I literally just bought it last week, but it was too small for my dog's bowl, so maybe I'll just keep it or return it, I don't know. Anyways, let's get to cutting while we answer some questions. I have them written down. One of the main questions I feel I get was, did I feel, oh my god, yeah. I was a little worried this wasn't a pink pineapple because it was so small, but she's pink. We love. One of the main questions I would get would be are you mad? Are you upset with your biological family? How did it feel meeting them? What's kind of the aftermath there? And honestly, it was never a part of my, I felt that it was never a part of my journey to meet them or just have the need to want to meet them. Also, I understand that I'm cutting on a laundry basket on a silicone mat. I'm not going to cut into the mat. Disclaimer, I just don't have a cutting board right now because we just moved to Florida. I forgot to add that detail. We don't live in Ohio anymore. Guys, we packed up our bags and we are in the Sunshine State. I got my dream job. I'm sure I'll make more content around that. Guys, there's so much I have a week's worth of content, and I think I want to post this one first, but you'll see me backtrack. We have we have a bunch of content. It's just me. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I never felt that it was supposed to be part of my journey, that I never had answers. I felt there was pieces missing. And I think that comes with that I'm so lucky that I will reiterate this probably till the day I die, because I became a conscious human being and realized how amazing my parents are. But I just grew up in such a loving house that I just never felt anything was missing. And I never felt and I'm not saying those people who want those answers and feel the feelings. Oh my God, there's a train. Of course. It took me forever to set this up and there was no train, and now there's a train. Hold on. I'm not implying and I'm not speaking on behalf of people who do have those feelings of wanting to find their biological parents, that feel a piece of them is missing, and saying that they didn't come from loving homes. I'm just saying this is my experience. I felt that because this is kind of overripe. Not gonna lie. But I'll still eat this all in a day. Whether it's good for you or not, I'll do it. That because I grew up in such a loving family and I was just so busy as a kid also, my childhood was kind of I was kind of like a robot when I think of my childhood. I was just so busy and I had so much stuff to do, and I had a house filled with so much love and family and support that I just never felt those pieces were missing. So for me, no, I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel, I don't know if I felt confused. I felt, what was the question? I had never been at a table with family members that were the same genetic makeup as me. I just had always grown up with being with my family for holidays and stuff like that, but never my biological family. So to now have a place at a table where I can literally just look around and have that confirmation that this is where my nose comes from, this is where my ears come from, is just honestly an indescribable feeling, and a feeling that I'm sure a lot of people who do grow up in their biological family have that just innate feeling. I don't even know if they acknowledge it to feel it, but it's just a feeling that is so common to them. It was so foreign to me, that a lot of the times during the trip I would just break down crying because I just did not know I could feel that feeling. I just didn't even know. I had gained things that I did not know were missing. And that's the best way I could describe it. Anyways, How did they know it was you? Was this orchestrated? A lot of people were saying, like, you know, your aunt set this up, like she knew this was so calculated. How could she do that? Like, this should have been your choice. What I want to address about that, point blank, I don't know. Like, to be honest, okay, so I don't know if I said this in the video I posted, but the day before, so Christmas Eve, we did a tour of my hometown, my home city. And the tour guide thought it would be like a fun little thing to take us to the orphanage a day early. Because I knew I wanted to go to the orphanage. Like, that wasn't a question. It was a question until I realized, like, you know, like, might as well, like, really see where I'm from. But just to see the orphanage. He thought it'd be, like, a fun idea to, like, surprise, like, we're at the orphanage a day early. And when I tell you, I'd never, like, that was probably the first time I had a panic attack. And I don't know why. Obviously, I do know why now. But, like, at the time, I was like, I just feel paralyzed. I would not get out of the cab. I was rethinking the whole trip. I was just like, you know what? I just want to go home. I feel like I'm not even supposed to be here. Like, I don't think I can do this. I just don't think I can. And I remember calling my best friend at the time. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning their time. And she had talked me through it. And she was like, Melissa, it's totally your choice, which is like my personal hell. I just want someone to tell me what to do. She's like, it's totally your choice. You know what you need. You know what you want. There is no wrong answer. And I hate when there's no wrong answer. I'm just like, someone tell me black or white, like yes or no, good, bad, like tell me. And so I like ended up, you know, going back. But the day before I was just like, I don't know why I'm just feeling so anxious. And I'd never really felt anxiety before then. And it was just weird. Like, it was just a weird feeling. It was a paralyzing feeling, a debilitating feeling that I was like, I can't go in there. I can't do it. I don't know why. I don't want to. And I can't. Like, I can't do it. The thing is, though, is that we didn't know. I don't know if there was paperwork involved or whatever, but we didn't know for sure if that was my orphanage. Like, I can 100% say that with certainty that we weren't for sure that that was the orphanage I was from, because there had been 2 orphanages in the town where I'm from, and the other one had closed down. So by default, we were like, okay, we'll just go to the other one. Like, it's not that big of a deal. We'll just go to this one because okay, you need to leash your dog, sir. Anyways, what was I saying? I'd have to go back in the footage, but I'm like, it makes no sense as to like how they would just know. Like, I'm a very logical person. So like there had to been some type of communication of like, I think, oh no, I don't want to cut that big of a piece. I think my aunt had to have said something, but not of like, oh, we know for sure this is the one that she's from. But yeah, like to an extent, there had to have been like some communication of like, oh yeah, like she was adopted from this area type of thing. Because like, how else did that happen? Next question. Was it my choice to go? Yes, I picked this place to go on vacation. Was it my choice to go to the orphanage? Yes. Was it my choice to meet my biological family? Yes. All of it was 100% my choice. Could I have done it without my aunt? Absolutely not. Like, one of the greatest presents was this trip. Like, it was an amazing gift. Like, probably one of the best presents I've ever received ever. Respectfully to everyone else who's ever gotten me a gift. But, you know, like, yes, it was my choice. I wasn't being forced to do anything. I didn't do it for the views. I didn't do it for the content. Like, truly, 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 it's just how it panned out. Don't know how. Not going to question it, but that's just like how things happened. Was I mad? No, I think I already went over this one. No, I was not mad, again, because I came from a very loving family. There was some, I will say there was some internalized resentment when I did get back to Ohio, because I was just angry. I wasn't angry, okay? I was very overwhelmed, and I expressed my overwhelm through anger and crying and just emotion. Like, the way my body releases emotion now is crying, whether that's happy, sad, confused, overwhelmed, anxious. I just be crying. And I think it's because I never cried as a kid. Like, it took a lot to get me to cry as a kid. But there was a phase where I was like, why didn't my parents, you know, raise me? They raised me. They raised me amazingly. But like, why didn't they raise me? keeping in mind that I'm Vietnamese, like I come from a very predominantly white suburb in Cleveland, like why didn't they, send me to Asian school to learn the language or more about the culture? And I was very angry and confused about that for a good bit, but I didn't really talk about it with my parents because it's like I just didn't want to. Like I was still I was very distant from my parents. I was very distant from everyone after I'd literally come back from Nam. Sorry. So I was a bit angry at my parents because I was just like, why didn't they understand what it would mean to adopt, a non-white kid into a predominantly white neighborhood, blah, 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 this and that, the other. And then I realized, like, guys, I was not an easy kid to raise by no means. I wasn't like off doing illegal things and like all that stuff, but like purely if my mom told me the sky was blue when I was 13 years old, I'd be like, you're lying and I hate you and you're a liar. Like I was just very anti-authoritarian as a kid. For what reason? Like actually for what reason? And so when I took that into account, I was like, you know what, Melissa? Your parents are trying their best and they will forever always be trying their best. There was a quote where it was like, remember that it's your parents' first time going through life too. That quote literally makes me cry thinking about it, because it's so true. And like, whether that's a cliche or not, I love a good cliche. So off. I think that's something really good to keep in mind when you're confused or frustrated at things that your parents do that you might not always agree with. And to me, I think of like at the end of the day, they are trying their absolute best and it's their first time. It's their first time. Like, let them, try and make mistakes and, trust that they will let, me try and make mistakes. So yeah, I quickly got over that phase, but I just felt a lot of, what's the word? And it took on how I thought everyone else would feel about the situation versus the way I felt about the situation. So I'd be like, oh my God, like I feel so much empathy for, the confusion and the emotions that my parents are going through. Like that stresses me out. But then I'm like, Melissa, what about how you feel and like how you experience that? Like, let's digest that first. So yeah, I wasn't mad. I was mad for a little bit. And then I just quickly realized like my parents have done nothing but love me since day zero. And now I have two families that have done absolutely nothing but love me since day zero. And I feel very privileged and very lucky to have nothing but love and support. Oh my God, let's not get emotional. But I understand the privilege and the intense, I don't know, I understand that they tried their best and they're still trying their best and I'm still trying my best. So the best I can do is my best, and yeah, that's it. What was it like returning to America after coming back from the trip? First of all, can we acknowledge this? I don't know if you guys can see that. Beautiful, stunning, absolutely stunning. Anyways, I went to West Virginia University. Hold on. I don't think I could have waited another day because I'm obsessed, but also it's perfectly ripe. I went to West Virginia University where I am very lucky to have received a higher education. Not only that, like with the help of my parents, being on the track team at the time. And anyways, so that was Christmas break. So I was driving back January, I think, or maybe it didn't hit me until March because I remember there wasn't snow on the ground. But I remember I was thinking about it on the drive back to school from getting home. And I kind of just like came back like nothing happened. Like there was like, oh my God, Melissa, like that's so amazing, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't, decompress what had happened until this drive back to school. And, I'm driving, I'm thinking, I'm feeling, and I pulled over on the side of the road and I had another panic attack and I was just crying. And I think for a while it took me to understand like why I was crying and why I was upset. And it's just like, that's how I express emotion now. So if I am crying, it's not always because I'm sad. It could be because I'm overwhelmed or stressed out, but also really happy. or just like really feel, I just be feeling a lot of stuff. I don't know. And I was like, holy fuck, I am back in a first world country. I am driving a car that I'm lucky that my parents had bought me. Full transparency, I can't do anything without my parents. In like a grateful way, not like I can't do my laundry without my parents. Like very grateful, very privileged to have the things that my parents worked really hard, worked so hard. Oh my God. My parents are such hard workers, such amazing people. Trying not to get emotional. But anyways, I'm aware of how hard my parents have worked for what they're able and still able to provide me and my brother. Anyways, don't know what just happened. It just stopped recording for some reason, but I have I have enough battery. Anyways, very grateful to have him. Very lucky to be in a cool position to go to college, get an education, have a car, like all of the amazing things. It was very, I almost was like, literally, if you've seen that video of the kid crying at the dinner table at Thanksgiving, and he's like, it's just too good. It really is. It's too good. It really is. Like, that was me. That was me for like a year straight. Like often, like every couple weeks. Like, because I didn't feel much as a kid. And that's like a whole other story. But like, it was almost like this triggered, you know, my emotional wall to like, be like, it's okay, you can feel things, and you're gonna feel things intensely, and I still do. Just like kind of what it was like coming back, and I feel like I was just more aware and more grateful for the things that I have. I can't believe like it took, you know, that experience to really realize what I do have and how grateful I am for it. But yeah, that's kind of what it was like coming back. What was the aftermath? You know, like my parents are always like, you can talk to us about it, and I'm sure they want me to talk to them about it. I'm still figuring that out. Quite honestly, like things were/are weird, odd. I don't know what the word is, between my aunt that took me and I. Like, it's a very interesting dynamic because it's like, you know, she made all these friends and I met my whole biological family tree. Like, it's not the same. Happy you made friends though, but I can't, like, you can't it's very confusing because it's like, I went my whole life without knowing these people, and now they're all in my life. It's very tricky at times, and confusing, and I'm figuring it out. What is Christmas like now? Christmas is a very overwhelming holiday for me, and I don't think I've really externalized that. I love that my dog's hair just makes it onto everything. And I don't think that's something I've ever really been external about. I keep to myself about it a lot, but Thanksgiving is already a little bit of a sad holiday for my family in general, so it's just like, I don't want to be the mood killer that's like, oh yeah, and Christmas actually sucks too, because I love Christmas. Like, I love bad Christmas movies. Besides the point, it's a very overwhelming holiday for me. Like, I kind of just wait until, you know, I go the whole year without thinking about certain things, and then obviously Christmas comes around and you can't ignore those things. So I'm learning, okay? It's a very, I don't know if stressful is the right word. It's a very overthinking time of the year for me. Yeah. So that's what Christmas is like. The last day comes with a lot of not even repercussions. That is so good. Everyone should try a pink pineapple at least once in their life. I associate a lot with Christmas. Growth, emotion, overthinking, overwhelm, gratefulness, love, like every emotion under the sun. I wish I should probably learn more adjectives for them. But yeah, very emotional part of the year. How does your family feel about me finding my biological family? To be honest, I don't know. I'm not going to speak on their behalf. In my experience, at first it was like they were so happy for me. And they do express like, hey, you know, you can talk to us about it if you ever want to. And I think I'm still navigating that part of how to talk to them about it. Yeah, but I know that they feel grateful and they're so happy for me. Sure, there is confusion on both ends. I'm not going to speak on their behalf. Truly, oh my God. From day one, my parents have always wanted the best for me. And they always want me to be happy. They want me to be happy, safe, and, you know, have all the opportunities I could ever imagine ever. And that goes for both sets of biological family and my family. So at the end of the day, if I have those things and more, they are content. Not content, but like they are, they know they've done their part. So yeah, and I think they understand that it's a very hard thing for me to navigate, and I'm, oh my God, still navigating it, clearly. You recognize how hard or difficult of a topic it is, and they do understand, like, it's not an easy thing to go through, and not an easy thing to go through when you feel alone. So again, I really appreciate everyone's amazing comments and sharing their own stories. It really, really, really is helping me kind of navigate this a little bit easier, and just feel like a little bit more comforting. Then the main question is, will I go back? Yes, I would love to go back. Would love, love, love to go back. I would love to go back with my parents and, you know, kind of have them meet, if my parents want to. I think that would be like the most amazing thing. I need US American dollars in my bank account, point blank. Like, as much as I really want something, like, that is probably the biggest reason why I haven't gone back yet, on top of just like, I need a couple more therapy sessions to get to that point. But it is something I do want to go back. Vietnam is a beautiful place. The people are so amazing. Such a place in my script, that I'm very grateful for. So of course I would love to go back. And of course I would love to bring my parents. Just recently, I'd say like probably within the last 2 years, I've really been able to tell the story without crying. Like, people would ask me to tell the story, and I just like couldn't. Like, I would just be like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't even think I would say I'm sorry. I would just like start crying, and it's very awkward for everyone involved. But now I can tell the story without doing that, which I think is a good sign, because I can acknowledge it happened and be so grateful. But I'm still figuring it out. Again, it still feels like it just happened, and also feels like it happened forever ago. But I'm just figuring it out. Very grateful for the experience nonetheless. I wouldn't have, if I had the choice to do it and not do it, I would do it every single time, in every lifetime. So yeah, that's some follow-up about the video I posted. I do have I had a GoPro at the time, so I filmed everything. I still need to edit that. Again, I'm just figuring my silly little life out, but would love to get that up to share with you guys, but also just a part of my experience. I love making content. I love editing. I love pressing that little post button. So yeah, would love to get that up eventually. But thank you guys for watching. And if there's any more questions, pop them down below. And 11,000 views. Like, that's, I just can't believe that. Like, on YouTube Shorts, yeah, but like the long form video that you guys wanted to hear my story and sit down and watch it, like, insane.